attempt through hike, you say? Attempt not. You don't believe, and that is why you fail. Do or do not. There is no try. What's up, everybody? It's Stryder. Welcome to episode 2, The Gear Wars. So I had a lot of fun making the prelude to the video here and all that kind of good stuff. So before I begin though, Garfield kind of brought to my attention that I need a little disclaimer. I am not currently sponsored by anybody. I don't receive any help from anybody. I lived in the winter in Vermont so I could save to do this. Now I'm saying this because, as Garfield told me, I get really excited about the gear that I like. So, if in the future I do become sponsored by somebody, you will know it. If anyone wants me to test anything, I'm perfectly willing to do so, but be warned, I will tell the truth. If I don't like your product, people will know. If I like the product, people will fucking know. Like my big Agnes shit. So, I've kind of thrown it through the ringer. As you can see, I had a little malfunction in excavating it from the snow. Nothing that a little clear Gorilla Tape can't fix. By the way, that's one of those products that I'm going to say you should have on you. You have your Type A tape for fixing the bottom of the tent, but this shit works wonders. I've patched cigarette holes when I still smoke the monkey sticks with this stuff. It kept on, it bends, it allows you to fold it, it comes back out, it stays on, waterproof, awesome stuff. So, alright, so I have no rhyme or reason to the order I'm doing stuff. I kind of go on the fly. So, my butt pad, a lot of people call this luxury weight. Fuck that. When you sit on a rock, much more comfortable with the butt pad. So, it's also insulating. I don't know which layer is supposed to be insulating, but that's a question a lot of people try to ask. All right, so kind of logical order here. So first thing, pack. I'm an Osprey. I kind of have a heavy pack. I'm a big guy. I'm 6'5". Everything I have is big. Like my base weight is probably, I shouldn't say my base weight because I hate doing that. But with 2 liters of water, 4 days of food, and all my stuff, my pack's around like 50 to 55 pounds. That's a lot. So I have the 65 liter Atmos. Love my pack. Rides like a dream. It's the Cadillac of packs. I do not understand anyone who buys Deuter or Gregory or Granite Gear. I mean, I'm not saying they don't make decent stuff, but when you buy a pack from Osprey, you bought a pack for life. Doesn't matter if you fuck it up, if a mouse chews a hole in it, send it in, they'll send you a new one. I've seen people on trail where just a little bit of the netting on the back here ripped, and Osprey didn't even wait for them to send their pack in because they're in the middle of a through hike. They sent them a new pack on trail. Also, so talking about customer service, back to Big Agnes. So I had a little malfunction, I guess you could say, when I got this tent. See, I started the trail with a ridiculous Coleman 4-person tent. I mean, you don't need good stuff to get on trail. I got on trail on the week's notice. Didn't even know I was doing it. Living in Asheville, North Carolina, ran into someone who's going to do the trail. I was having problems in my life, and I'm like, yes, this is what I need to do. On a week's notice and almost no budget, I got out here with Walmart shit. You can too. Get on the trail. Trail magic happens. You never know. So just get started. It doesn't matter what you're starting with. I'm still rocking a shitty Walmart dry bag. I mean, the lining on this stuff comes out. It's not really waterproof anymore. So you probably can't really see, but the lining that starts in these Walmart bags that keeps it kind of waterproof, it's not waterproof anymore. But it's a decent bag to throw stuff in. It's kind of my miscellaneous bag. So, But that's what I'm getting to, is just get out on trail. But back to Big Angus. So my malfunction that I started the trail with was as I'm setting up my brand new tent that my dad, thank goodness, came through big for me and ordered and sent to me in Franklin, North Carolina. I'm setting it up for the first time. I decide I'm going to seam seal it. So I'm setting it up outside, walk around the corner for 30 seconds. Come back, it has blown into the street. A car ran it over. The only damage, my poles are all still completely intact. Like, that is ridiculous. So these poles got ran over by a car with the tent set up as a freestanding tent.
I saw it.
Garfield was there. He saw it. The only thing that happened was the rain fly it was unsalvageable. Like, I couldn't, it's the top of the rain fly. It's not the situation where I have with this one where I can actually fix the little rips near the bottom. It was at the top of the rain fly. So I had to order a new rain fly from Big Angus. So I called them up. It's about 3 p.m. for about $170, which for a $500 tent is very reasonable to me. They had me a brand new rain fly the next morning. That's amazing customer service to me. So, kudos to Big Angus on that. So, I'm going to keep going with the kind of the theme here. I talked about, I have the Walmart bags. You can start with, the lining eventually isn't going to work too well on them. My clothing bag currently is a Granite Gear. It's what they had at the outfitter that I needed a new bag at the time. It's worked awesome for me. I've had this for quite a while now. So this is a 7-liter. They call it the extra, extra small. It's perfect size for my clothes. Next, talking about bags, my stuff sack for my sleeping bag. I'll get to the whole sleeping bag system shortly, but this is a outdoor research. It has worked great. Now, I did have some issues. The original one that I bought, maybe a month after getting it, started splitting at the seam at the top here. Obviously, for a compression bag, not good news. So, I went online to do the warranty on the outdoor research. I was a little concerned at the time because they're like, well, give us like 10 days to get back to you, this and that. I'm thinking to myself, I am because I flip-flopped on my through hike. I am in Maine, about to go into the 100-mile wilderness, and I kind of need that like now. So I call them up. Still a little bit not too happy when it rings and rings and rings and I get a voicemail. So I hang up. I decide to call again. And I leave a message that time just explaining I'm on trail, this and that. Well, I'm glad I did. They had emailed me back within an hour or two saying, we really want to take care of this right away. Also, where's the place you're going to be in the next, like 5 days out, which is reasonable for putting stuff together and mailing it. Not like Big Angus that had it next day, but still very good. And they sent me a brand new one. And this has worked perfectly since I've had it. So, awesome. So I've talked about 10 bags. Oh, okay. So, back to packs. I guess your only other choices are if you're the super lightweight, like the Hyperlight Z packs. Now, I've been hearing bad things about the current customer service situation at Z packs. I don't know for sure. I haven't dealt with them personally. But again, Osprey, the anti-grav system, when I pull that around my waist, it takes all that weight of that huge pack off of my shoulders. Rides like a dream. Osprey all day long. So, let's see here. Miscellaneous stuff, I guess. I got my titanium pot. Speaking of which, just getting on trail, I got that out of a hiker box. I didn't pay for it. I know this looks huge, but this is a Stryder size meal. Those little like jet boil cups, that's a snack. What are you talking about? That's no meal. Of course, the canister, I happen to have an MSR. There's other brands, Primus, other people. I got this at, what was it? The Mountain Crossings. So I started the trail with no stove whatsoever and was going straight campfire. That's a rough situation. You don't want to be having to make a fire to have lunch. All right. Or, you know, I don't know. Some people do cold soak. You have options. But I like coffee in the morning. I like to have options in what I'm eating. It's a long trail. You don't want to be eating the same shit all the time. So being able to cook really helps in what your choices are. I got the Black Diamond headlamp. Little unknown fact, if you ever deal with Black Diamond warranty, never tell them you use anything else but Duracell batteries. Somehow, if you use anything else, you avoid the warranty. Kind of an interesting little tidbit. So, oh, that's my Katahdin rock. All right, so a little bit of luxury weight. I like to drink coffee. As everybody said, I like to be able to drink while I eat. There's the little fold-up cups. Those fucking suck. If you ask me, if you put it on a little bit of an angle and you have like a full cup, your whole cup is spilling over. I like the metal. I know it's a little heavier. Fuck it. Rope, hang your bear bag, you know, standard stuff. I'll admit, I was one of the bad people on the AT that didn't do that as often as I should. On the Pacific Crest Trail, I ain't fucking around with grizzlies, though. I'll be hanging my bear bag. All right, so I want to talk about my sleep system. This is the Big Agnes. I believe it's the Expedition. I wish it actually said something. But this is the 15-degree bag. I have a long. Again, I am long. What I love about this bag, two parts. It is not a mummy bag. So I can move around in it. I can kind of get in the fetal position. I have room to stretch. This is a regular width, but it's in a long. Now, the great part about this is that, as you can see on the bottom, it actually has a sleeve that the Big Agnes AirCore Ultra, the air pad, slides into. That way my air pad is always in my sleeping bag. I can't roll off the pad because it's in the sleeping bag, which is great. Also, the great part about the AirCore is that the outside billows are a little bit taller than the inside, so it keeps you nested in the middle of the bag. Yes, it takes a little bit to blow up, but it's totally worth it. Other great part about the sleeve is that it gives the extra protection for the air pad, so I'm not worried so much about puncturing my air pad. Now, another key thing, personally, and that Garfield found out when it got a little bit cold outside, was that a sleeping bag liner is crucial.
Yep.
Now, I told him, get a sleeping bag liner. Get a sleeping bag liner. He finally got one, and he's like, ooh, yeah. So, this is the Cedar Summit. I do have to give a shout out to my boy Crazy Korean. This was from him, but this has been awesome. It is a total lifesaver versus the cheap Walmart one that I started with. As I started with all kinds of crap. My pack was a high-tech, I'm going to throw a picture up there here for you in the picture-to-picture. It was a piece of shit. I had to keep sewing it back together. The first time I had to sew it back together was already at Mountain Crossings. 50 miles into the trail, I'm already having to sew this thing back together. So, but as I said, just get on a trail. You can make it work. I had to stop a few times along the way. Hot Springs, Harper's Ferry, other places along the way to work for a week or two. The Harper's Ferry paid for this. If you're ever at the ATC, if you're looking at the ATC and look left, there's this amazing house. Shout out to Chris and Ricardo. They should be running the B&B by the time anyone sees this video, but I helped renovate that house. Actually, I dug a huge trench and hit the water main. It was fun. I'm sitting there using a rototiller, and all of a sudden I'm rocking out. I think I had Fleetwood Mac going at the time, and all of a sudden the water is spraying. Oh well, I digress. So, and of course, the big bag is pillow. So I've just blown up completely at the moment because it's easier to see that way. But it doubles as a travel pillow or the pillow to go in it. There's the little clips on the top to make it the one or the other. But this is going to be great for the bus ride. And then it makes great sleeping. So air pillow. Before I had the air pillow, I would just stuffing up my puffy. Now, again, just get on trail. I got this from the bartender in Franklin, North Carolina. I wish I remembered his name, but believe me, this and the Columbia rain jacket he gave me were worth a lot more than the bar tab I had that night. So, crucial stuff.
So we're talking about what?
So, we're talking about my shoes. Now, I understand a lot of people love the trail runners. I started with some $20 Walmart shoes, got to mountain crossings. They had, at the time, because I started early, I started March 4th, they had 50% off going on quite a few of their shoes. I got some trail runners. Loved them at the time. And they feel great. They do. They're light. It just feels like you have tread just strapped to the bottom of your foot. You don't even feel the rest of the shoe. That's great and awesome and all. But I ran into some major ankle problems on trail. No major injury, just a overuse injury. So so that is why I have the Obos, the high tops. They are much lighter than they look. They are pretty much waterproof. I had the shorter version near the end of the trail last year. The waterproof works great. I'm really thinking I'll let you know more once I use these more. But I'm thinking that that they actually go all the way to the top is going to keep it waterproof all the way up. So I mean, you don't want to keep them submerged for too long, but the shorter ones worked awesome. I'm really excited about them. Another reason to go through Obos is they will replace your shoes twice during a through hike. Your Obos, there's no reason that you will go through more than 3 pairs. This whole 6 pairs of shoes crap, I don't know what shoes people are buying. They're going through 6 pairs. So go with something decent. And I love Obos. So back to ankle injuries, other injuries. So I get into Franklin, North Carolina. My knees are hurting pretty bad. Well, I shouldn't point there. They actually were hurting like on the insides. I got to, Baltimore Jack's Hostel. Great place. And there's the Three Eagles Outfitter satellite in there. Guy named Kevin that was running the place. I just go in there for advice on some knee braces. He has a friend that's a physical therapist. Takes me personally to his friend's office, the physical therapist. Full workup, no cost to me. They determined that because of the trail runners that have no arch support, I'm pinching in, and that's what's giving me my knee pain. I buy some super feet, throw them in the trail runners, pain is gone. Amazing. So major shout out and love to Kevin at Three Eagles. Great place. So that gets back to the shoes. He was talking about how the ankle injuries and other injuries, I can never say this word right, where your arch drops, the plantar whatever. You know what I'm talking about. All that stuff, it went way in the rise when people started running trail runners. I know boots weigh a little bit more, but it's the right thing to do in the long run. Other people are going to totally disagree with me. Some people made it all the way through on their trail runners. Well, you got to talk to the people that didn't make it all the way through, the people that had an injury that took them off trail. And if they had boots instead of trail runners, they might have made it. So, because of the ankle injury I had on the AT, I'm going with the high tops. All right, so that takes care of shoes. I know I've talked about my tent before, so obviously I'm a ground dweller. I don't look like an Ewok. Garfield does look like an Ewok, though, and that is why he is a tree dweller. Now, on the Pacific Crest Trail, you start in the desert, you can't hammock. And actually, in California, it's illegal to hammock because you're damaging the trees. Sorry, the look on Garfield's face there is priceless. But, so, I have the Big Agnes Copper Spur HVUL3. I absolutely love it. I have the Dream for the 3-person Platinum. Why do I have a 3-person tent? Because I am 6'5" and do not fit into a 1 or a 2-person tent. When I do the AT again, because I have to do it in a single northbound push, I'm thinking about hammocking, but then when I add in the extra weight for the underquilt and everything else, am I really saving any weight? I don't know. I love having the ability to have a complete pack explosion in my tent. So, to each their own. Now, there are choices. If you're going to have a standard poled tent, Big Agnes. I mean, they're lightest weight. The pockets are in the right places. Everything about Big Agnes, they know what they're doing. If you're going to go super lightweight, until just recently, your only option was what? Z-Packs? Customer service, not great. They look like some kind of canvas a middle schooler, the Boy Scout troop went on. Not anymore. Garfield, I'm going to go ahead and steal a little bit of his, has just gotten, I don't know the name of it.
Scout 2 Platinum.
Scout 2 Platinum. Weighs how much?
1 pound, 1 ounce.
1 pound, 1 ounce.
I'm excited.
So, it is a single wall tent, not suggested by me for the AT. The AT is super humid. You get condensation inside the tent. You'll be sitting there and you'll have dripping happen on you. That's why the Copper Spur or the other type of tents that have the rain fly is the way to go on the AT. However, out west in the dry, the single wall that has no poles, it actually uses your trekking poles to keep it up. I'm going to say that I have not seen him use it yet, but it looks a hell of a lot cooler than the ones that are made by Z-Packs. The whole sides are pockets, it weighs less, and it costs less. So
$150 cheaper.
So shout out to Big Agnes for knowing that there was a place for the market and that they're going to make it better. So shout out to them on that one. So socks, I guess I'll go to clothes next. So I'm sporting my AT Darn Toughs. Of course, Darn Tough, the great thing about Darn Tough is that there's no customer service to actually deal with. If I get a hole in my Darn Tough sock, I take this sock with a hole in it into the outfitter that sells Darn Toughs and I trade them in right there and then for a brand new pair. So any retailer that sells Darn Toughs has to go with that. So Darn Tough is awesome. I do also love my Injinjis, my toe socks. I used to think they were I used to make mad fun of girls and their toe socks. Oh, your cute little toe socks, this and that. I must admit, I do love them. No blisters on the trail with the toe socks. It's like a liner. You put the toe socks on, you put your other socks over top of them, and it works great. Now, I must admit, another great thing is having a little squirt bottle with some alcohol in them. You spray your socks off at the end of the night, works wonders. All right, so I told you I got a Columbia rain jacket from the bartender there in Franklin. It was kind of old. After a little while, it wasn't really repelling water too well. Now, I got that because people like Daisy told me to start with frog togs. And I've seen her video with the frog togs. They were the cheap frog togs. I don't know how she made it more than 5 miles in those things, because every little twig you walk by reaches out and tears those things. There was more duct tape on my frog tog than was frog tog. But if you're going to get the frog togs, which you still can, get the decent jacket. Now, I wish that I had a better one. Now, this one has pockets, but it does not have pit zips. When you get, it doesn't take much to be like, it's just a little bit too cold to not be wearing the jacket in the rain. But once you put that jacket on and it's raining, you get warm as muggy as fuck. So I must admit, a jacket that has pit zips is pretty awesome. I have Magellan rain pants that I got out of a hiker box. Again, hiker boxes are amazing, the things that you will find in there. You don't have to spend a lot of money on things. I have a little bit of luxury weight items. This is the Prince V-Stick. I wanted something simple. I'm no longer smoking. I had quit cigarettes before I had started the Appalachian Trail, but I'm like, vaporizer's not realistic. Heck with that. I'm tired of smoking, but nicotine for the Stryder is required. So I have this. I have the backup battery. I know people think that's probably insane and a lot of weight, but whatever. I'm already rocking like 50 pounds. What's another half pound? So. Lecky trekking poles. I don't know exactly the warranty on other brands, but Lecky, I have seen for myself, someone break their pole and Lecky have a new part out to them right away. So the Leckys are good for life, except for the tips. I do need to get a new tip for this one. Unfortunately, the outfitter here in the Rutland does not carry such things. So, differences between the AT and the PCT as far as clothing, starting in the desert. Now, I did get lucky. Over the winter, I've been ski bumming at Killington. So, as a Killington employee, I got 50% off of Under Armour and quite a few other things. So, these are hot weather Under Armour base layer and top with SPF 50 built in, supposed to keep you cool. I have these cool ass sun gloves, and then also another thing that I got 50% off of was the sunglasses. I've never owned an expensive pair of sunglasses before, but if I'm going to be in the desert, I thought it might be prudent to have glasses. And come on, they're fucking super cool. So come on. On the AT, man, these are actually the shorts this is probably the only thing that I have left that I started with, were these shorts. They're Russell, they're from Walmart. I mean, there are things you can get from Walmart that will work perfectly fine. I loved, one of my favorite pieces of gear is, let's see, it's laying over here, I think. Oh yeah, okay. Is just a Russell hoodie. It's a thin hoodie. It's got the little thumb holes in it. And when it's a little bit cool out, you know, you can pull the sleeves up, put the hood up, put it down, roll the sleeves up. Works great. You do not have to buy expensive clothes. So this crap was because desert. So that worked great for me. The buffs are just useful. I mean, head, neck, do your thing. So They keep you cool. They keep the sweat out of your eyes. You know, it's the hiker bandana, I guess you should say. All right. So a few other odds and ends, I guess. Little knife. You don't need a big knife. You're not going to be cutting much. Maybe some rope. Meat and cheese mostly. Do you need a gun for the AT? Absolutely the fuck not. All right. Now, PCT, I'm not allowed a gun, but for those that are, I wouldn't say it's a terrible idea. The wildlife out there is a little bit bigger and more wild. One thing that I did not talk about, people may disagree on a lot of different things, and a lot of people have different personal opinions. The one piece of gear just about every thru hiker will agree on is your Sawyer water filter. I have a medic that started with one of those pumps and worked great at first for about 2 weeks. When they start clogging up, the water flow gets terrible. Your Sawyer filter, lightweight, works awesome. Just about 99.99% of thru hikers will agree. It's the one thing that we can agree on. And speaking of water, so I got my Osprey pack, my Osprey rain cover, and this is awesome. So, because I'm in the desert, I decided I'm going to need a water bladder. On the AT, you never need more than 2 liters of water. Maybe a couple, like 2 or 3 sections in Virginia, I think you go like 12 miles at the most between water. But water is abundant on the AT. You never need more than 2 liters on you at a time. Now, on the other hand, on the PCT, where you're going like 30 miles without any water on a regular basis and through the desert, I decided to go with a 3-liter water bladder. Now, with the Osprey, as you can see, the hose attaches, magnetic, awesome, bite valve. They actually say the hose, I haven't tested this out, so I can't guarantee anything yet, but they say that this is at least freeze resistant, which is pretty badass. The other great part is that the inside snap, click. So now you have your hose is disconnected that easily. Pull the pouch out, fill it up. Now that you have it filled up, you can put it right back in, click, ready to go. Super convenient. So again, I chose to go with a 3-liter because I'm going to need to be carrying like 5 liters of water at a time sometimes. So Garfield was just telling me that I sounded like Darwin there. That's some fucking bullshit. That's another. No offense to Daisy, Darwin. They are.
It's Dixie.
They are thru hikers.
Dixie.
What?
Dixie.
What about her?
Not Daisy.
Oh, sorry, Dixie. I'm terrible with names. You see how much I give a fuck. But no offense to them. Like she's a little too ultralight for my taste. You know, some people the whole like every day's food in a different Ziploc bag. I mean, talk about luxury weight and waste environment. Just throw your food in the bag and pick out what you need when you need it. I don't know. That's my personal opinion. Hike your own hike. Everyone does it different. And that's the beautiful part. Hike your hike. I can only tell you what I like. I can only tell you what's worked for me. What works for you is going to be different. Now, as a great man, poet, said, you'll meet poet if you make it up to Maine. If you start thinking about getting rid of your rain gear, stop thinking. You may not use it for 2 months, but when you need it, you fucking need it. So guys, I hope this was informative. I hope it was fun. I'm looking forward to getting out west. I've never been out there. I'm excited to see it all, to get out to the desert, the sequoias, Rainier by the end of the year, baby. That's right. We're going to see if it happens. We plan on doing the extra trip up Rainier, so that's going to be some gnarly shit too. the video for that would be fucking epic. So, everyone starting the AT, I wish you luck. Everyone starting the PCT, I'll see you there. I just wanted to thank everybody who's watching my videos. Please subscribe if you like. Keep the traction going. I'm going to try to keep them coming out as fast as I can. I don't pay for service. Again, I'm cheap hiker trash, so it's only when Wi-Fi is available. But next episode, going to California.